Carlos Alcaraz takes a hard hit from the ATP. The ATP has $20 million reserved to distribute among the top 30 players of the Masters 1000 in the finals. Carlos Alcaraz has received much less of this, barely a fifth, compared to his main rivals, Jannik Sinner and Alexander Zverev. As 2024 comes to an end, this is a great time to look back at everything Carlos Alcaraz has achieved in a year that, while not his best, has still brought significant titles. 2 Grand Slams, Wimbledon and Roland Garros, stand out, along with smaller events like Indian Wells or the ATP 500 in Beijing. However, his poor end to the season and Jannik Sinner's incredible consistency have caused him to drop to 3rd place in the world rankings. This also deprived him of being the player to pocket the most from the bonus pool distributed by the ATP, although he still secured a fair amount, albeit far less than his rivals. This bonus pool is a fund set aside by the ATP to reward the top 30 players who performed best in the Masters 1000 and finals. The total of $20 million is intended to recognize the effort, consistency, and achievements of the players in the most important tournaments throughout the year, as well as reward their performance on the circuit. Naturally, following these criteria, the biggest beneficiary has been Jannik Sinner, who already had an incredible earnings year, one of the most lucrative campaigns in tennis history. The Italian earned a total of $2.78 million thanks to his 3 Masters 1000 victories in 2024, Miami, Cincinnati, and Shanghai, while Alexander Zverev earned over $2.5 million with titles like Paris and Rome. Alcaraz, far behind. While Carlos Alcaraz's best moments came at the Grand Slams, and aside from his win in Indian Wells or a semi-final run in Miami, he hasn't been a strong contender in the Masters 1000 events. This explains why his bonus is much smaller, barely a fifth of what his predecessors in the rankings received. Alcaraz's share was $508,091, a respectable sum, but not comparable to that of Sasha or especially Jannik. Still, he's not the worst off, as Novak Djokovic didn't receive a single dollar from the bonus pool for not being among the top 30. Zverev sends a warning to Alcaraz and Sinner ahead of the Australian Open. The German tennis player delivered a strong performance at the United Cup, helping Germany win their opening match. The new tennis season is about to begin, with the Australian Open being the first major challenge for top players from both the ATP and WTA circuits. While the tournament officially starts on January 12, players are already preparing to compete in the year's first Grand Slam. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner are set to debut at the Australian Open, while Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zverev have already kicked off their seasons to arrive in top form in Melbourne. The Serbian will begin his campaign at the Brisbane tournament, while the world number 2 has already played his first matches. Zverev, the main draw for the German team, is participating in the United Cup and had a stellar debut, securing a comfortable victory in his singles match and helping Germany dominate Brazil. Zverev starts strong in the new season. Alexander Zverev shined in Germany's opening match at the United Cup on Sunday, December 29. While Spain was eliminated after losses to Kazakhstan and Greece, and Carlos Alcaraz chose not to participate, Germany started strong. Laura Siegemund kicked off the first match with a win, defeating Beatriz Haddad Maia 6-3, 1-6, 6-4. This meant Zverev's singles match became crucial for Germany, as a victory would ensure a team win without needing a pressured doubles match. Zverev delivered, beating Thiago Monteiro 6-4, 6-4 to secure the win for Germany and send a message that he's in top form, ready to contend for major titles. Germany also triumphed in the doubles match, with Laura Siegemund and Tim Poots defeating the Brazilian duo of Alves and Matos 7-6, 6-4. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, rivals to beat. With this commanding performance, Zverev is sending a warning to Sinner and Alcaraz that he plans to be a serious contender this year. The Italian and Spanish players dominated headlines last season, with the world number 1 winning the majority of the titles he entered and Alcaraz claiming the biggest ones. Apart from the Australian Open, Alcaraz captured titles at Roland Garros, Indian Wells, and Wimbledon last season. Meanwhile, Zverev quietly accumulated points and climbed the rankings, surpassing Alcaraz. Zverev's message to his main rivals is clear: he's here to stay and will challenge them at the Australian Open, the first major event of the season, where they'll face off to assess their form heading into the new year. Confirmed date for Carlos Alcaraz: here's when his first match in 2025 will be. Carlos Alcaraz is almost ready to start the new season. The Spanish tennis star has been training intensively to prepare for his official debut at the Australian Open. To ensure he's in top condition, Alcaraz has scheduled 2 exhibition matches in Australia before playing in the only Grand Slam he has yet to win. The 3-time Grand Slam champion is looking to improve on last year's result, where he reached the quarterfinals, the furthest he's gone in this tournament so far. In 2024, Alcaraz lost to Alexander Zverev in 4 sets, falling just short of the semifinals. Like Rafael Nadal, the Australian Open seems to be his Achilles heel, but the Spaniard is training hard to break the trend and add the trophy to his collection. Alcaraz has been practicing rigorously at home and, along with his team, has scheduled 2 matches to prepare for his Melbourne debut. The tournament begins on January 6 with the qualifying rounds, but main draw players won't start until the week of January 13. The former world number 1 will play 2 exhibition matches against top local players, Alex de Minaur and Alexei Popyrin. Exhibition matches before Melbourne debut. Alcaraz's first match in 2025 will be against Alex de Minaur on Wednesday, January 8, at 9 a.m. CET. The same exhibition was held in 2024, with the Australian winning 6-4, 5-7, 10-3. However, in official matches, de Minaur has never beaten Alcaraz, who leads their head-to-head 2-0. This time, Alcaraz will aim for revenge. The second match will be 2 days later, also in Melbourne, against Alexei Popyrin. They've only faced each other once before, in Winston-Salem 2021, where Alcaraz narrowly won, 6-7, 6-1, 7-6. This match is scheduled for Friday, January 10, at 7 a.m. CET. These will be Alcaraz's only matches before making his official debut at Melbourne Park. Goal: Australian Open. Carlos Alcaraz enters the new season in peak physical condition. The stomach issues that plagued him at the ATP finals, hindering his performance, are behind him. Although he didn't finish 2024 strongly, evidenced by his early exit at the US Open, Alcaraz has reset and is determined to start the year by winning on Novak Djokovic's home turf. Djokovic, who has won this Grand Slam a record 10 times, failed to defend his title last year, losing to Jannik Sinner in the semifinals. The Italian went on to win the tournament, succeeding Djokovic in the record books. This year, Alcaraz aims to break through the quarterfinal barrier and compete for the title. However, given Sinner's late-season dominance, Alcaraz will need to bring his best game to have a shot at claiming his first Australian Open. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. At Tennis Zone, we are dedicated to bringing you the best content for the best audience. We provide in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. Additionally, at Tennis Zone, we strive to deliver high-quality, up-to-date content about players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant happenings in the tennis world.